you are coming from. Spring has sprung. And how do we know this? Horses are shedding. And lots. Yeah, it is good stuff.
It really is. It's one of the greatest times of year, especially for all of us who have horses or know and remember that feeling of what it's like to just get rid of all of the old stuff. It is done. We're starting fresh, and the horse gives us that tangible piece when we're literally shedding and doing what we need to do, especially if we're making waffles.
Yeah. And that's what it's all about, is shedding out the old, bringing in the new. And yes, we're going to bring in waffles to this somehow. So just wait for it. It's a common, people. So first we'll go through our regular piece as well. So if you guys hear something today that blows your mind or something that you think, this is lovely, throw in that hashtag holy jumping tuna fish. This is lovely. So profound. If something's profound, throw in the holy
profound
jumping
is
tuna
way
fish.
better.
Yeah, we love that. And I love that a couple people are saying good morning already. So please do tell us who you are and where you're from, because we just love to know who's joining us as well. And then, of course, share. It's always good to share out, to bring out some maybe new ideas to new people or anybody else who's into horses who might want to hear about this, or people who are just, well, I'm sure we'll give one laugh a day. Like we do something usually that causes people to laugh throughout their lives. So
and I also feel we give something that's really strong and grounded and foundational just to any human. So it's not just us horsey people, but sometimes it's just something different that we need to hear from, I don't know, people like us from the Equine Connection.
Yep. And there's going to be some good stuff coming out today. So that's very exciting as well. So definitely share it out so they can get into that too. And then if you're catching us on replay, throw in that hashtag replay for us too, so that we just know that you've caught us later on as well. So going into things here. Good morning, Kim. Good morning, Leah. Good morning, Michelle, Libby. Good to see you guys on this morning already. For those of you who don't know, my name is Carolyn Charles. I'm a director of sales and marketing, as well as an instructor and facilitator from the Equine Connection, the Academy of Equine Assisted Learning, Inc.
Hi, everyone. My name is Carrie Fulmack, the founder and master instructor at the Equine Connection, helping people globally around the world, just like you, just why not you people, creating your own business, but working with horses in a completely different way, because our mission on this earth and in this certification is welfare of the horse comes first. So we do not use our horses. We actually partner with them, allowing them to be the teachers to these most stunning, incredible programs that help humans to move forward. And I love it so much because how they were even designed, like Tamara took, how do humans learn? It's still used in universities today, I might add. Then she took how do wild horses communicate, all that research that was already done, marries these two research components together to create these objectively driven programs that come with predictable outcomes, because that's how she designed them, to always give humans a result each and every time they work with the horse. And what does it do? It empowers that human to build those skills and move forward. So there's nothing, it's just so exciting.
And all of it gets paralleled back too. So it's not just a fun day with horses or something that you might learn, but you don't know how to apply. All of it goes back to how do we use this in everyday life, and how can we apply these skills to moving us forward in beautiful, beautiful ways. And if you guys joined us last week, which was fun.
That was one of the best lives like ever.
It was so fun. We did the Magic 8 Ball, but we read lots of the outcomes in the journals from people too. If you guys haven't caught it yet, go back and watch that one, because wow, was it a good time. I really enjoyed it. Oh, and I see we've got Natalie on as well. Sherry, Lisa, good to see you guys all on here too. Good morning, good morning. So where does this waffle
seriously
come in?
Sometimes it's so, I love being an entrepreneur, being self-employed, because why? Even when you're tired or you're not tired or whatever, your brain's always on fire creating something, right? So mine usually happens in the shower. I don't know why, probably because you take off the old, bring in something new, shampoo it in. I don't know what it is. So of course, the waffles. The waffle is so important to us, especially in horse world. Why? Because we feel so amazing when we can get rid of the old hair and see what's underneath. So what we have is a little waffle maker. Now, of course, we bring this in for all of our clients who take the program, especially now, because we always get them engaged because that's part of the learning process, right? So we're like, who wants to make a waffle today?
And they're all like, look at us like we're crazy.
What? So of course we show them how to use the little waffle. So this is Mr. Jordy's. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful waffle. So then of course I always say, take these home because then you can have a little bit of hair waffle with some syrup.
So some gag.
Yeah, some gag a lot, but these are super cool to make. And I actually did them with all of our horses here this morning because, you know, each one to me has a different way, a different meaning, a different way you feel when you're actually shedding them out. Of course, we love the shedding blade as well.
There's nothing more satisfying than watching that just drag down and these like, like all gone. I love it.
And you know, for spring is sprung. And you know, here's a piece as you're grooming your horse. First of all, really try to groom your horse without having your horse be attached to anything. You know, always having that, again, welfare of the horse is so important. If a horse always knows he has an exit, it's so exciting to know that even as we're grooming them, if they want to leave us, because again, a number one thing a horse needs to feel is safe. If they want to leave us, it helps us too as we're readjusting ourselves because again, it's been a heck of a year. We all know that we're in this together, all of the positives, but there's not a lot, not all people have gone through all the positives. And where we are, we're getting tired because we want to be free again.
We want to do things that we can't do.
But we can't do them all because, of course, it's just the way it's rolling.
I think we aren't saying the word.
I know, right? So even as you are grooming your horse and you're using your shedding blade and you're using your little waffle, like really start even thinking inside yourself, you know, get rid of all the stuff you no longer need. That's my brain always goes to that actually anytime I groom, but it's way more fun when it's all of that thick hair coming off. But get rid of it, Carrie. It's done. Get rid of it today. It's done. Get rid of it this moment because it's done. For both you and your horse is amazing. And of course, here's the tail tall. I don't know how to say some of these things.
Telltale?
Yeah, I think that's
I need to hear the rest of the sentence. So
what did you say?
Telltale. Like the telltale sign?
Yeah, the telltale sign. Ooh, that's a toughie for me. Is if your horse is staying with you. Because here is the key to that whole thing. And maybe what's even happening with us. Because remember, living in this world right now, we do a lot of future thinking. Mm-hmm. We do a lot of reminiscing of what was. So that's our past. So are we living in our moment with our horse? Because that's what actually helps us to get stronger and grow. Because if we keep living in future and past, well, our horse will tell us because he's going to leave. He's going to leave us. But if he stays with us, all you're thinking of is waffle making. All you're thinking of is getting rid of all the stuff that no longer exists because that's all we can do.
And then it turns from just trying to get them groomed where it's like shh, to being present with them and being in that moment. And really like it's as much for them as it is for us and vice versa so that everybody can let go of those pieces. And it really is like when we can actually get out there and just groom and just do this, like it's so cathartic and therapeutic almost just to be there and be in that moment with them and have them want to be with you during it as well. Like it's good stuff. People.
Absolutely.
I like Michelle's comment here. She says it's no lip gloss season. We get a lot of wind around these parts though. We are lip gloss.
I love that you said that because it's so funny. Just before we go out, of course, in Alberta here, oh my goodness, we're so dry. I always use chapstick. And I always put it on and then I'm out there, I'm like, and then it's in my mouth and it's like, where do you even wipe? Because you're completely covered. There's nowhere to wipe anymore.
Just walk in with hairy lips.
Yeah, that's a holy jumping tuna fish moment right there.
Yeah.
Don't put the chapstick on.
So going with this waffle theme, we actually kind of broke it down a little bit for you guys about why waffle, because it looks like a waffle, granted, yes, and it's fun to say and do and everything else like that. But we thought we'd add a little bit more. There's meaning to the word waffle today.
Absolutely. So let's take a look at our word waffle and what it actually does represent for us.
Okay. Oh, I didn't write out the whole word. I just put the
Oh,
each
okay.
letter,
So
you
we'll
for
go
that.
waffle, Waffle. So let's go with the W. So thinking about this and even where you are in your life, because again, we got to live in our moments, right? But as human beings, we need to dream. Because if we don't dream, what do we aspire to move to, right? So with waffle, the one thing would be the wish. Oh, and I liked how Carolyn actually wrote out the word. I just did ish. So that's kind of cute.
Well,
okay.
Wish.
So nobody is confused. We first go to a place as we're dreaming that we wish we could do this, or we wish we had that, or we wish what we don't wish for the, again, like in this world that's got that swear word in it right now. You can't just say, oh, I wish that didn't exist, because it does exist.
Yeah.
So we want to go to a place like to our innards, to who we are as a human. What do you wish for? So let your place go to a beautiful place, because here you are out, you're grooming your horse. The sun is shining on your face and you're like dreaming of who it is that you want to be. Well, first of all, probably always be with a horse, because why? Horse makes us feel alive.
They're good stuff.
They are just good stuff.
Yeah.
So here you are with your horse and you're like, I wish there was a way that I could just be with you all the time and help human beings. Because again, most of us who are always searching for our purpose is helping another human.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. It's that simple.
I love taking a wish though, because we can wish for lots of things. And I love that you said it's more tangible stuff, right? Because I wish to win the lottery.
Yeah.
I wish. But you've got no, well, unless you don't buy a ticket, then you have a little power in that. But it's changing those wishes, those dreams into goals, right? And your mindset with that, because a goal tends to be that tangible thing that actually can happen. So instead of just, wishing, you got to do what comes with that wish to get it towards the goal, to get towards it coming true. And that's some work usually.
And that has to do with the whole waffle.
Yeah.
So let's go to our A. And this is your,
where is it?
There we go.
Come to me. There we go.
This is your aha moment. As you're there, I wish that there was a way to work with you, my horse, make a living, have some fun, because life is short. Your aha comes in the second that you say, why not me? Because why not you? I mean, people look at these stars and heroes of the world and they give so much accolades to them, but they're just a normal human being, just like you and I. Oprah and Alan and Muhammad Ali, everybody, we're all just human beings. But what makes them different is they took their wish, then they had an aha moment to say, why not me? And that is the most exciting piece when you actually start. Well, we'll go to the F in waffle.
The effing waffle. Yeah. I was like, she's gonna swear.
No.
Like the effing waffle. I thought we liked the waffle.
We do. So now it goes into that feel, because once we feel that, yes, this is a possibility, because you gotta feel that it would be. You gotta feel that you deserve it, that you can have it. That why not you have the dream that so many people don't get to live and do, because there are very few humans on this earth that actually put their dream into a reality.
Yeah.
And that's what I love, because we still all have to go to the dreamy state. And here's the nice part, even being with your horse and grooming him out, even though it's futuristic, it's not futuristic in the fact that when you're feeling it and it's so authentic to what you feel, that authenticity also keeps that horse safe, because it feels good in what you're thinking and feeling through your aha and your feel.
Yeah. And when you're in that place that you are in it, and what will it feel like too? Like even knowing where you're going to be that's balance. Like that's a great feeling, right? Because then you're brainstorming within yourself. You got so much going on that it's just a good case of the feels right there.
Oh, I just love that. I can already feel it. Sunshine, even with the wind, just no chapstick, still make you feel really good as you're out there working with your horse.
And now we go to the other effing waffle.
The other effing waffle.
That threw me off so much. Like,
That's hilarious.
how we like the waffle.
So then we got to go to the fear in waffle, because this is just naturally what we as humans do. You are already placing yourself there. You're feeling, you don't have a clue what it is and how you're going to run your business, or what that would look like to literally make money with a horse. Like, get out of here. Because here's the biggest thing. How many people have always told you you will never make money with a horse?
Hay burners.
They're hay burners. But, and I know, I'm sorry you've heard this story, but as we were building our house, so many contractors, of course, come to build their pieces to it. And they would always say to my husband, oh, you poor guy. Look at all those hay burners, money burners, whatever they call them. That must cost you a ton of money. And I loved it, because he would say every single time, well, FYI, they actually make us money. They actually give us a living, like everybody. And there, people are like, what? How is that possible? So here comes the fear piece. So now you're really picturing yourself there. You have your ahas. Why not you? Because why not you? And now you're feeling it, and now you're excited. Like, it burns in the belly of your gut. To me, when you have that passion, it's just burning, and then your brain is on fire, because you see all these things, but then your brain always brings you back to saying, no, no, no.
Hold on a second.
Because let me tell you, if you put out that kind of money to start your own business and it doesn't work, I can't do that.
Think, what about the money? What about the risk? What if it is? What if that? The what ifs are endless. Endless. They really are. And it's like, what if this is the wrong time? Well, it's like having a baby. There's never really a perfect time to do it. And if you're always stuck waiting for that, then that's when the fear starts to overtake what could be your dream reality, right? Like, you really have to, and I'm with the skeptics. I am one myself, people, but it is about finding out what's the fear. And then we go to kind of this next piece of figuring out, is it a fear? Is it actually a risk? Or are you looking at it maybe in the wrong way?
And it's funny, but think about all the things that you've been fearful of. And you always imagine in your brain, like, way bigger, like it's having an exaggeration of the story.
Worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario. And then it never really turns out to be that way. So it really is kind of like a false fear in the fact that, see, it's fearful because you don't know yet. You don't know what you don't know until you do know. But once you do know, you see, that's where it takes away a lot of that falseness to the fear piece, because fear has to exist. And fear can also be a very positive thing. We always say
it should be there within you. If you had no fear, all of us would be dead, because we need to have some sort of fear to stop ourselves from doing certain things, right?
Well, like, that's very important. True too.
Yeah, it's good to have.
But it's so nice, because when you are starting a business and you have all those key components in place, not even knowing where you're going to go and how it will work, that is a fear piece, because you want all these logistics that go with it. But unfortunately, people, sorry, when it comes to a dream, it just doesn't work that way. Like, you still have to have, don't get me wrong, your analytics, your facts, the pieces that you're going to get, but you cannot, no matter how you do it, know exactly how it's going to turn out. Because if you did, you should get your crystal ball and make $1 bazillion, because you can tell everybody exactly what that would look like. And none of us do know.
And forward us on some lotto numbers, because that's just what you do, is pay it forward.
Absolutely.
That's all.
But having fear that involves that excitement piece, exciting to know that, oh my gosh, if I spend this money, you see what here's the thing. When you spend money in an investment, that's an asset. So what rich people do is they invest their money. So what? With the asset, they actually make more money. That's what an investment is. Now, if the fear is you're spending money on a motorboat, okay, now I just want you to know, even though that's very exciting and you're like, will I be able to pay for it? Well, unless you got a really great job, you wouldn't be able to pay for it, right?
Look at budgets and other such things to support whether you've got the fear.
That's right. And that would be considered a liability. A boat would be a liability. This is just something we want to have. But when we're investing in ourselves, in us being the asset, that's when your brain has to go to a different place. Because in business, you have to know that what you're investing into doing your business is it comes back because you're going to get all the know-hows to how to move that business forward. Unless you're doing it all by yourself, then it's harder. And that's the nice part. You never have to do things by yourself. Not in this world anyways.
I like Lisa's comment there too. Fear is a liar, but it still exists.
Of course it does.
Yes. And we have to acknowledge those pieces to get ourselves to a place where we can move forward and we're not stuck in the fear as well. Even our facilitators during the course, it's so funny because inevitably at one point or another, they say, okay, but what if it does happen? But what if this does happen? Because there's a little bit of like, what if I get myself into that situation? But the fact of the matter is you can't put out there, what if this does happen? Because what if it doesn't, right? There's no instruction manual to life. There's none of that, right? We can't do the what ifs all the time. However, we can get ourselves enough knowledge to be able to move forward in a comfortable place where we know our risks and we can address them so that they're risks that we can address instead of fear.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a good segue into learn.
The L in Waffle is to learn. And the learning component is the piece that will take away a lot of those fears, because now you're going to do it again as an investment. You're going to learn, well, and we always speak specifically to our certification. This is why we have the training in being self-employed, being that entrepreneur. How do the horses actually partner with you? What are all of the things that my organizations and my clients need to know? What about all the videos and pictures and how do I do a Zoom? How do I do a PowerPoint? How do I actually write off everything that I spend on my horses now? How do I actually make money? What is my business plan? How much am I going to make each month or each year? You see,
how do I hear my horses?
How do I hear my horses?
Yeah.
All of these things are the learn piece. And it's so nice when you can actually start your own business that's already designed for you. It's kind of like you have a franchise, you don't have any franchise fee, meaning if Tim Hortons or Starbucks is an amazing organization who does make multi-millions of dollars a year, how cool that you get in with that. Well, not, you know what I'm saying. How cool though you get in with that with Equine Connection, but you don't have to pay any of those fees because we're just here to always help you as that business person to move forward, to learn. You will never learn enough about being self-employed and the horse. Like the horse, because it is the welfare, it's our mission. The welfare of the horse is first. And, you know, we've always said we're going to die and still
not know everything.
There will not be enough that we can possibly learn in that knowledge.
It's funny that Doug's on here this morning. Doug Walsh, he is an amazing horse trainer in Florida. And that's one thing that we love about him is he says the same thing.
Yes.
There's no end point to the amount of learning that you can bring in. And something new changes every single time. And different horses require different things. Like there's just so much we can absorb and learn till the day we die.
Oh, it's so
and Faye and Mike are on too. Good morning, you guys.
That's right, Mike. No fees. They give you everything you need and continuously because we're one family. That's what we always say. We're one family. You can divorce us and we never divorce you, because if we all work together to partner with our horses to help humans to make a living. We always, when you start a business, it's always to make a living. Like nobody starts a business to just have a business. I mean, unless you are a philanthropist and you, you totally do. But I know tons of philanthropists that still don't, like they're not, even as they're starting the business, it still costs money to be able to do that. Not like nothing is a free giveaway, right?
No.
So it's so nice when we work together because we're on the same page, supporting and helping and growing and learning and growing and working with horses. And how do horses communicate? No way, my horse did this. How is this possible? Why did this horse do this for this person? You should tell them about that one with the word.
Oh my gosh. And now these on here too.
Yes.
I had one of our facilitators was telling us about an Authentic You program she was running. And not only did this horse help this woman in just phenomenal ways and figuring out where she needed to move forward, the horse actually got to the point where he was standing over a word. And part of the process of this program was that they had to get the horse really to choose certain words for them to help them move forward. And then from that, they kind of decided, is this word the right intention for me or whatever else? So this girl's going through and she got this one word, forgiveness. And it was like super powerful for her in the first place. Then they're all standing with the horses. The horse goes away, picks up a word with his mouth,
Steve,
and brings it back over. And of course it is this word. And she actually ended up taking it with her and keeping it. But wow, like I will never be, you can never get a big head because you are humbled every single day in the power that these phenomenal creatures possess to help us move forward and that they choose to help us.
I know, because we're confused humans. No matter who, horse people, traditional people, addicts, it doesn't matter. We're all confusing human beings. Welcome to the world of being human.
Even talking about them this morning, I was pretty foul this morning. I'm not going to lie to you. I wasn't in the best of all moods coming in today. And even talking about horses makes me feel better. Like just kind of channeling them makes me
Maybe you want to touch the waffle.
I did take my allergy pill this morning.
Yeah, she's allergic to horses.
Sure
so you see,
this time
that
of year
doesn't even matter. Okay.
Yeah, Reactin and I are tight.
Let's go to the EM waffle because this is exactly how you spell waffle. This is the ending to the waffle. So now we have the execution, which is the hardest thing for people to do.
The action.
The execution is the action. The execution is the risk. Because, and again, everybody thinks of the risk, something different, but execution is what sets you apart from everyone else who's just dreaming in fluffy land. You see, through the waffle, we are now no longer in fluffy land.
Although fluffy, not that kind of fluffy.
No, because now we're actually putting in the execution because we all know the dreamers of the world. Dreams are the most stunning when we can execute what it is that, again, we feel our aha, why not me? Because why not you? Like, who says that you can't do it? Just because you have your father or your mom or your hubby say there's no way you'll ever make money with horses, because we have heard that before.
What did you hear after from your...
My grandma, 94 years old, gives me a phone call and says, Carrie, the family and I were sitting around and we were talking about you and your business. And you know, we just cannot believe how far you went because honestly, all of us never believed you could make this happen. I'm like, oh, well, thank you, Grandma. Yeah.
I mean, there's a compliment in there.
There is a compliment still, but again, most people won't believe it. But the execution is when you take your certification, when you spend your money, when you jump off and say, I'm going to do it anyways. Because here's the funny thing. You know, money is the most weirdest thing. Mm-hmm. And I love that being an entrepreneur is because when you spend money, spend it. You spend it on rent, on a vehicle, on your utilities, on groceries, on a Starbucks, whatever you do. You spend the money. And then if you have a job, well, hopefully we all have jobs in some way or another. 2 weeks later, more money gets replenished into our bank account. It's never enough. I understand these pieces.
It's not a tree. Like there's no money.
No, but it's so cool how money works. When you spend money, this is the way to replenish that bank account again. I love it. Anytime like the bank account's getting super low, I always spend money. Because I'm always about when I spend that money, I know I will replenish it because you see, I wouldn't have it any other way. I will make things work to replenish that. And oftentimes it's more than I thought it was going to be.
But it's return on investment type money too. It's not like you think, oh, the bank account's low, I'm going to buy a car.
Oh, no, I don't.
Right? Like it's smart spending still. Yeah. So don't just like dish it out like your moneymaker or anything else like that. It's finding something to help replenish that money, not just frivolous spending too, just to clarify.
So I have a challenge for you now, and I hope each of you that are actually listening that you take this challenge. Give me a thumbs up, give me a tuna fish, give me something. But what I want you to do is do a video just for yourself. Even if it's just you talking to yourself saying, Carrie, you know, with you and your horses, you can do the most purposeful thing on earth by taking a risk, by putting in my money in order to have the life that I want to have. How am I going to do this? I am going to do it with the waffle. Bring in the waffle and watch yourself. Do you hear the passion? Do you feel it? because the execution and making it real to yourself. That's why, people say talk in the mirror, but sometimes I like the recording, because this way you can go sneak up on yourself and you can say, I haven't done one thing with my waffle since I said I was going to do it. And no matter what your dream is, but bring in the waffle for every stage and say, what is my fear? My fear is I'm going to spend this money and nothing will happen. So you see, that's my big fear. So if that's your biggest fear, well, you see, in my world, I would say, well, that would never happen, because I would never allow money to just go out to not make money work. So these are the things you should really address to yourself in those things. And we have a few of our facilitators on here too. I challenge you to do this too, because what is the fear for you even now? Okay, we have a crazy world, but get rid of that piece, because it exists. So it's here. So now what is the fear to that you won't succeed? And then again, I won't succeed in doing my EAL business. So, okay, so now you've addressed the fear. Now we're going to go into, again, learn, because learning is a piece of how you don't stay there stagnant in your business, right?
The cool thing with doing this too is, especially with that first one of doing I am going to do this, I'm going to help people, and you get to hear the excitement in your own voice, so that when you do get to that fear piece, or the part where you're starting to doubt, or any of that stuff is coming in, go watch that first video. So you get to hear that excitement, that passion, that purpose in your voice again. You're like, oh, yes, I can do it. This is what I'm going to be doing with my life too. So always get to go back to that first place where that wish, the dream is, because that's your why, that's your hope, that's your goal. And that's the piece that you want to keep coming back to as well.
I have a beautiful saying that I want you guys to also hear. And then we've got a few things we want to tell you about that are very, very, very exciting, because why wouldn't it be exciting?
It's all we do around here.
He, and you can replace it with she, but he who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life. And that was by Muhammad Ali. And, here's the thing, you're going to die. Now, I do talk about death all the time, because for the fact that I feel sometimes us as humans, we don't think that we're going to die, even though deep down you're going to die. But you see, if we don't keep it in the forefront, we don't know what day we're going to die. I know I could die today. I know for a fact, a horse, you just don't know. Accidents happen all the time. So when you live in your now, in your moment, and you're creating your dream, and you're making it real, even through those fears and all of those risks and things that you are building up in your head, remember, it's so important, because we don't have tons of time on earth to accomplish what we really want to do. And remember, it's this few people who actually get to live their life in their dream all the time. And who would not want to live a life with horses and make a living doing it, right? But learning how to do it, so you're not all by yourself doing it.
Oh, Rebecca, no fear. Jump in with both feet. Atta girl. I'm approaching a hospice for grief and trauma. Oh, nice job. And that's from a YouTube one this time.
Very good. Chop. Yes. I like that.
Mike, that's why my foot is on the pedal all the time. Mike does stuff with cars too, so that makes a good sense too. Myrna, I'm interested in this. I've been in the horse industry my whole life, and this is something I can incorporate with my knowledge of reading horses. You betcha. Actually, maybe I'll throw up the website here too. There's a contact on there.
Because
questions.
Then I'm going to tell you something. We have created, Carolyn and myself at the Equine Connection, an additional program of 5 to 6. No, it's 6.
6. Yes.
6 beautiful new programs to add to what we already give in the certification. Because we always call ourselves the Harvard of certifications, because there is no stone that is left unturned. That's the word. You see, I almost got stuck on what is the verbiage that goes with that?
There's no stone. There is no stone that has not been turned.
Because we train you before you take the course, we train you during the course, we train you after the course, for the rest of your life with the course. It's like the course that never ends. We're kind of like the Timex bunny.
The Energizer bunny.
Oh, you see?
The Timexes are
The Energizer Bunny.
Although
Timex is a watch.
sometimes they go forever.
But this is great because we created this because of, now we're going to say it because of COVID. We also know that suicides, addictions, opioids, depression are through the roof. And even though we don't have all the stats, even in our global world, we know that because of all these shutdowns and lockdowns and people not being able to live life, we know there's huge things happening. So we created this Family Herd series. It is so amazing. The logo, the design of your flip charts and your exercises and your station cards and your achievement words that go with it are actually created just for the family. And how beautiful that we, no matter where we are in the globe, on the globe, we can actually, even through lockdowns, we can have a family come. Like we can actually help one family at a time to move forward. And not only is it going to be helping the family, it helps humans individually. So even though it's always in a group setting and how we do these exercises and programs, every individual gets their own change and learning from each program that we do. So we're giving this away only until April the 14th when you sign up for your certified course. We are going to give this as a beautiful gift to you to help you start your business off, helping those families in your community. And it's valued at $697. So
it's pretty amazing because, you know, we talk about the addiction side of things and everything, but just general well-being and mental health has been really, really challenged throughout all of this, whether it's kids having to do school at home, parents having to figure out how to be teachers, teachers having to figure out how to do things online. Like there's a lot going on in our family units, and that's just our typical, regular, everyday. I mean, we're all a little messed up, but you know, family units. So even if it's not the addiction side of things, mental wellness across the board needs some help. It really, really does. So these families, I mean, a lot of times they've been stuck together and that's it. And you love your family, but when you spend every day with your family, you kind of have to start getting to a new place together. And that's really what this curriculum does, is it brings them through an entire course load of how can we communicate better? How can we move forward together? How can we count on each other? How do we work together?
And choices. And choices are huge because we have limited choices compared to what we had before. So it's kind of nice understanding that still living in our now, which our horses help us to do, is live in your moment. What choice do I have in this moment? Because that's all we got. And it's so exciting. So no, it's a lovely program. We should have, I don't know, maybe what we should do you have your email up there?
Yeah.
So for any of you who are interested in seeing what that Family Herd series is all about, Carolyn's going to put her email up. So email her, and then she is going to send you the promo. That's a better idea.
Yes.
Because then you'll see the video that helps you to understand even how you're going to help in your community. But it is fabulous. There it is.
There it is. Yeah. And I mean, the best thing about our jobs, like we get to work with horses, which is phenomenal. The best thing that happens to us is every time we can see that we've helped somebody else. And that gives us that purpose, that fills our bucket. And this is where it becomes like an us thing. But at the same token, it's all of our jobs to help somebody else, to help some other family, to help anybody move forward with their lives, or be a positive, what's the word I'm looking for? I help you.
I know, a positive, not hero, a positive role model, a positive.
I think it starts with an I.
Positive Ike.
To be a positive piece. No. Okay. You guys will come up with something. But to be that positive, well, let's go with role model. That's, I think, closest to it, in other people's lives, so that we can help them to move forward, have them have that inspiration within their own lives to do something different. And that is something that all of our facilitators across the board have as well. And it's this amazing family, our own family of facilitators, that is doing this across the globe. And the more people that can be doing this for other people, the better off this mental health side of things will start to get when we can help others out.
Absolutely.
What did Heidi say here? Oh, it was so scary when I took the leap to take this course, but I did it afraid anyway, and I'm so glad. I did it because the course gives you so many opportunities, and you guys have no idea how much you get in this certification. And you can do this without owning horses or having any business knowledge. They truly give you even more than you think you will need. And the best part is you can go at your own pace. Just do it. You won't regret it.
Oh, thanks, Heidi. I love that. We're going to come see Heidi in Vermont. Well, again, we won't go to the future.
We will, though,
but
with the intention.
That's exactly right. So another great thing as we're ending off today as well, remember, really dig in deep with the investment that you put into starting your own business. There will always be a cost. No matter what you're doing, if you're making horse cookies, there is going to be a cost to a business as you're starting up. So really take a look at what those costs would be. Because remember, an investment is an asset. The asset makes you money. You are the asset because you are the one who's going to create this and whatever that looks like for you. We have, just so you know, we want you to know, I think it's the third week, we are doing a really cool free giveaway, which Jane is on next week, but she'll be talking about this as well. So when you join us, and I don't know the date, April 14th is the next week, April 21st.
Yes.
This is free. So if you join us on that day, April the 21st at 9 a.m., we are giving away a super duper cool mini online. It's such a fabulous course, gaining that power just for me, myself, and I, because that's what we always have to have. Because when we look after me, myself, and I, we can look after everybody else in this world because we have energy, we have enthusiasm, we've got all those great things inside of us.
If mama's happy, everybody else is happy.
And if daddy's happy, everybody else is happy. But really, it actually is the mom. Yeah. You poor guys, you just can't win with us chicks. Sorry.
We've said this on a few different occasions, and we do feel for you.
We do.
We don't intend on changing it necessarily.
We really don't.
We empathize for you guys.
So yesterday we were having a meeting actually with Australia, with the country.
Yes, that's what we do. Australia, would you like to Zoom? Scotland, you chiming in?
They say yay, so we're in. Anyways, out of it came a great idea that we should all implement into our lives, even as we're shedding, even as we're going out grooming. So use the waffle. Keep all those waffle pieces in mind as you are creating your business. Use the, use it as an acronym, I guess you would say, right?
Yeah.
But also, think of 3 positive things daily that you notice or that you feel. And one of the lady who actually told us about this, Jane Hemingway Moore, who is in Australia, who is our instructor, they do it before they eat supper every night. And I thought that is a beautiful way to do it. But if you're by yourself, or if you just don't have that system where you're sitting down and doing the supper thing, even do it as you're shedding. Like, what are the 3 positives that I feel even in this moment? To even be able to dream, that is such a beautiful gift, because, think how many brains are shut down and they're not dreaming in this beautiful place. They're dreaming in a different place. I don't know if that's what's called a dream. Maybe it's called a nightmare.
Fantasy.
Fantasy, that's right. So, think about those positives as you're shedding out your horses, that you're alive, you're breathing it in, you're smelling your horse. Like, that's a beautiful gift. And for those of us who wear chapstick, well, we are shedding. I love that, because here's another thing, like we're alive, we're able to do these things because our horse is right there with us. And the horse alone in that positive piece is helping to ground us all the time. That's why no tie, the pony, when you're also grooming. That's a great way. But 3 positives I think are really nice.
And even on those, we all have the bad days, right? The crappy day where you don't feel even like finding 3 positive, because you're kind of just sitting in that spot that you're like, I'm grumpy and doggone it, I will be. But find even the littlest things, like me this morning. Okay, I did not have to stop and get gas this morning. That is a serious bonus to my mentality, whatever it may be, but make sure you find them, because it does help to get you into that different place of positive versus the negative thinking. Because, I don't know if I have time to go into the whole study of it, but there is a study done on water. that showed if you played positive music to it, the molecules actually themselves changed into these beautiful, positive looking and gorgeous crystals. Whereas they played this negative music to other water molecules and they actually degraded and turned into different colors and mucky and kind of fell apart. This is the same thing we do to our bodies because we are made up of a whole lot of water. So if we're always stuck in that negative place, which is real easy to do during this swear word time, we got to get towards that positive piece so that we're actually helping ourselves move forward and move to where we want to go rather than being stuck in the negative kakapupu.
But you know, that really is really great advice because it's okay to live in those anger, grumpy, sadness, confused, because I do feel any of us are at that place, which can cause that little bit of anxiety to everything that we're doing. Even the most grounded of humans, we're going to have some kind of anxiety because, again, there's nothing that we're being able to control in those pieces. So it's good to be aware that you can just say, you know what, I am grumpy.
Yeah, I'm foul.
As soon as you kind of say that, then what are the three positives though in being grumpy? One, I just released it.
Yeah.
So I told someone, doesn't mean my whole grumpiness has changed, but I told myself or I told someone else that I was grumpy. That's a great one positive.
Even and knowing that it'll end, right? You're not stuck in the grumpy forever. This is just a moment in time. Be grumpy, take the moment and then move forward.
Absolutely. So remember, April 21st is free giveaway for all who join us on that day. Next week is Jane Hemingway Moore and Ellis Field in Sydney, Australia. So they'll be coming to you with the live, and that will be at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. Exactly. Remember the waffle. Do the waffle in everything that you do. The waffle will help you, but do the waffle first with your horse.
Yes. Have a wonderful day. See you next week.